The son of a maid silently polished the shoes of a wealthy man who had spat on him. A few days later, a DNA test left the rich man stunned. 5 a.m. in Mwasa town. The town was still drowning in a grey-blue haze, the streetlights flickering off one by one like sleepy eyes. The wind blew in from the Indian Ocean, carrying the salty, fishy smell of the sea mixed with dust, sweeping past the rusted tin shacks and garbage-filled gutters before finally slamming into the lone white mansion perched halfway up the hill, the Mweninga estate. On the stone steps of the mansion's back door, 17-year-old Ka had been kneeling for half an hour. His head was bowed, his rough fingers clutching an old piece of cloth as he polished a pair of gleaming Italian leather shoes over and over. The shoes were so shiny he could see his own gaunt face and the sweat beading at his temples reflected in them. The smell of shoe polish mixed with the morning air, stinging his nose. The owner of those shoes, mining Tycna Russia Mweninga, leaned against the doorframe, leisurely adjusting his tie, but his gaze cut through Ka Roma like a knife. Too slow, Russia said coldly, his voice like metal scraping glass. Last Saturday's Pa Rudy, my left shoe had dust on it. Do you even know how much those shoes cost? Ka Romu didn't look up. His voice was rely louder than the wind. Sorry, sir. I'll make sure they're clean. You'll never get them clean. Russia suddenly smirked, then leaned down and spat, thwack, right onto the toe of Ka Romu's freshly polished right shoe. The air froze. Ka Romu's hand jerked, the cloth hovering midair. He clenched his jaw so hard his bottom lip nearly split. He could feel the maid, Lena, sneaking glances at him as she swept nearby, her broom scraping the ground faster now. Russia acted like nothing had happened, straightening his cufflinks. Hurry up. My CAR's waiting. Ka Romu took a deep breath, his throat burning like sandpaper. He didn't speak. Just bent down again, using the cleanest corner of the cloth to wipe away the spit, slow and refill, like he wasn't cleaning off filth but something sacred. His knuckles turned white, veins bulging on the back of his hand like worms struggling in dirt. He remembered what his mother had told him last night. Ka Romu, bowing your head isn't surrender, it's survival. For people like us, our lives are cheaper than shoe polish. His mother, Lillian, had been a cleaner in this mansion for 20 years. Since Ka Romu could remember, she'd been scrubbing floors, washing toilets, folding clothes, silent as an ant, carrying invisible crumbs under the roof of the rich. They lived on the other side of town, in Urala, a slum stitched together from tin, wood, and plastic sheets. No running water, no electricity meters, just kerosene lamps at night. The neighbors always said, Urala means we're finished. But Ka Romu refused to believe that. He was the top student in town. His teachers said he could get into the University of Dar es Salaam. But he had no money. Tuition was a mountain crushing his lungs. So he studied by day, fixed phones for cash at night, and on weekends, he worked odd jobs at the Mweninga estate, shining shoes, hauling goods, cleaning the garage. All for a sliver of hope. Done, sir, Ka Romu finally said, looking up, his voice steadied. Russia glanced at the shoes, gave a satisfied grunt, then stepped over him. The black SUV idling at the curb. The driver rushed to open the door, head bowed. Then, suddenly, Russia paused. Turned back. Looked at Ka Romu with an odd expression, like he was studying an old chair. Or a dog. Your mother, how is she lately? He asked. Ka Romu stiffened. He hadn't expected that. She's fine. Thank you, sir. Russia's mouth twitched. He said nothing else, just climbed into the car. The door slammed, the engine ROA read, and the black beast vanished into the morning mist, kicking up dust. Ka Romu sat on the steps, watching it go, his hands still trembling. He read at the scuff marks left by those shoes, deep grooves in the stone, like scars that wouldn't fade. He pulled a crumpled paper from his pocket, a university acceptance letter. The deadline was in 3 days. Ka Romu. A voice hissed from the door. Lena peeked out, whispering, your mom told me to get you. She found something. What she didn't say. But she was crying. Ka Romu's chest tightened. His mother never cried. She was like a tree growing through cracks in stone. Wind couldn't break her, rain couldn't bend her. If she was crying, something was very wrong. He stuffed his shoe polish into his bag and ran down the hill. The path to Urala was full of potholes. BA food kids kicked cans through muddy puddles, women crouched over pots of boiling cassava. He pushed through the narrow alleys, shoved open the squeaky tin door of their shack. Inside was dim and damp, old books and medicine bottles piled in the corner. His mother sat on the bed, clutching a faded photograph, TRS streaming silently. Mom Ka Romo knelt, grabbing her hands. Lillian looked up, her eyes red, and handed him the photo. In it, a younger version of her stood in a nurse's uniform in front of a white building, smiling shyly. Beside her was a white doctor in gold-rimmed glasses, his arm around her shoulders. And on the doctor's other side a young man. 20-year-old Russia Mwaninga. Where is this? Ka Rumu's voice was tight. St. Mary's Hospital, Lillian whispered. 20 years ago I worked there as a nurse's aide. That doctor, his name was Peter White. He was a Russia's father. He was kind to me. Ka Rumu's pulse pounded. And then I got pregnant. Her voice sounded like it was rising from the EARTH. They told me the baby was stillborn. But I hear crying a boy. They wouldn't let me see him. Said the body had been burned. The next day, they fired me. No one would hire me after that. Until I found out I was pregnant with you. Ka Romu felt like lightning had struck him. You're saying that baby might not have died? Lillian shook her head. I don't know. But look, the back of the photo has writing. Ka Romu flipped it over. In blue ink, it read to Lillian, may our child live in peace. P.W. And in the corner, almost worn away, baby K, transferred to Nairobi, August 12, 1999. Ka Rumu's hands shook violently. Kata's name, Ka Rumu, sta root with K. Mom. His voice was raw. If that baby didn't die, who was he? Lillian pulled him into a hug, like she used to when he was small. I don't know, my son. But I know one thing, you're not what they call damaged goods. You're my killed. You're my life. Ka Romo sta read at the photo, at young Russia's face, different from the man today, but still just as arrogant. A thought grew like weeds in his mind, if that baby K is a Russia's son, then what am I? He remembered the spit on the shoe. The shoes he could never shine bright enough. His mother's 20 years of silence. He clenched the photo, nails digging into his palm. Mom, he said softly, I want the truth. Outside, the sun finally broke through the clouds, GLA ring off Urala's tin roofs like a blade slicing through the DRK. Night in Urala. The night hung over the tin roofs like an oil-soaked black cloth, heavy and suffocating. No streetlights, just a few kerosene lamps flickering in the alleys, like fireflies or dying eyes. The wind blew in from the valley, carrying the sour stench of rotting garbage and the dust from distant mines. Ka Romo sat on the edge of his bed, clutching the faded photograph, his fingers tracing the tiny words on the back over and over. Baby K, transferred to Nairobi, August 12, 1999. Mom, he finally spoke, his voice too loud in the silence. St. Mary's Hospital. Is it still there? Lillian curled up in the corner of the bed, hugging a faded cloth doll, Ka Rumu's only toy as a child. She didn't look up, just shook her head. Gone. 10 years ago, the Mwaningas bought it, turned it into a private clinic. Only for the rich now. Ka Rumu's stomach dropped. The trail had really begun, and already it was cold. That Dr. Peter White. Is he still alive? Dead? Lillian's voice sounded like it was rising from a well. Car crash, not long after the baby was sent away. Russia took over the family business. The hospital went to him. The only sound left was the pop off the kerosene lamp. Ka Romo sta read at the photo, at young Russia's face, cold in a way that didn't belong to someone so young. Then something clicked. Mom, you said you were pregnant with a child, but I was born 9 months later. In between, where did you go? Lillian flinched. Slowly, she lifted her head, her eyes hollow, like she was sta ring through 20 years of dust. I went to Nairobi, she whispered. I wanted to find that baby. But no one knew who baby K was. The hospital records were burned. The nurses all said they'd never seen me. I had no money, almost sta vet on the streets until one day, I collapsed outside an orphanage. An old nun saved me. She paused, her voice even quieter. While sorting donated clothes, she found you wrapped in a blue blanket, left on the steps. You were 3 days old. There was a note with your name, K.A. Romu. The nun said the woman who left you wore a white coat, a mask. All she heard her say was one phrase in Swahili, don't let him go back. K.A. Romu's whole body went cold. So I'm not really yours. Lillian grabbed his hand, her grip iron tight. You're my son. That name on the note, the K on the photo, it doesn't matter. What does blood decide? You came when I had nothing left. You kept me alive. You are Remy K.A. Romu. Tars fell hot on his knuckles. K.A. Romu froze. He'd never seen his mother like this, raw, shaking. In his memory, she was always silent, unbreakable, like stone worn smooth by wind. But now, the pain in her eyes was a river with no bottom. Mom, he whispered, that nurse, why did she save me? Why say don't let him go back? Lillian shook her head. I don't know. But I think she knew something. She was afraid if you went back, you'd become like them. The Mwaningas. K.A. Romu's jaw clenched. What are they so afraid of? The next morning, K.A. Romu skipped school. He dug out his mother's old wooden chest, the only thing she'd taken from Saint Mary's. The corners were reinforced with rusted metal, the lock long broken. He pried it open with a screwdriver. Inside, yellowed papers. Medical forms. Pay stubs. A Maasai talisman. And a thin diary. The first page read March 15, 1999. Dr. White spoke to me again. Said I was healthy, good genes, perfect for a special project. He gave me money to keep quiet. I was SCA red, but I needed to send money home. I signed. They didn't let me read the papers. K.A. Romu's pulse pounded. He flipped faster. April 2nd. I'm pregnant. Not an accident. They said artificial insemination, but I never agreed. Dr. White called it scientific progress for better genes. Mr. A. Russia. He looked at my stomach like I was livestock. July 20th. Locked in the hospital's back wing. No visitors, no calls. Nurses say I'm hysterical. But I hear them talking, subject A, subject B. Am I a will my baby be normal? August 10th? I gave birth. A boy. I heard him cry, so strong. But they took him immediately. Said he'd died at birth, heart defect. Lies. He was healthy. That night, I overheard a nurse, baby K is handled. Sent to the Nairobi Foundation. August 12th. They made me sign termination papers. No money, no ID, no help. They threw me out like trash. But I swear if I ever get a voice, I'll tell the world what happened here. The diary ended there. K.A. Romu's hands shook so hard he nearly dropped it. His head spun. Artificial insemination subjects a stolen baby. This wasn't just about a secret child. This was an experiment using poor women's bodies to breed perfect heirs for the rich. And if baby K was a Russia's real son, then what was he? A failed experiment, a reject? He remembered a Russia's strange question yesterday, your mother, how is she not concerned? A threat. He was checking if Lillian was still alive, if she still remembered. K.A. Romu ran to the town's library, a repurposed shipping container. He booted up the ancient computer, urged, Mwaninga Family Hospital Experiment. A 3-year-old article popped up. East African Medical Ethics BOA Road investigates Street MA eugenics program. An anonymous tip claims the late Dr. Peter White secretly ran a genetic optimization project in the 1990s, using tribal women as surrogates to breed ideal offspring for elite families. The BOA RD cited insufficient evidence and closed the case. K.A. Romu's blood burned. Anonymous tip, insufficient evidence. He scrolled further, found a tiny blurb in the Tanzania Times archives, August 15, 1999, Nairobi Children's Foundation receives special infant. An anonymous donor gifted a newborn boy to the Light of East Africa Foundation, calling him a scientific miracle to be raised with elite education in medical ca no name. No photo. But Ka Rumu knew. That was baby K. And himself, whose blood did heckrry that night. He found Lillian at the table, the blue blanket spread before her. Mom, he said softly, I want a DNA test. Lillian's head snapped up. No. They'll kill you. Mom, I need to know. If I'm a Mwaninga if a Russia and I shari blood, then every shoe I shined, every insult, every time he spat on me, that's not fate. It's hate. Do you know the cost of truth? Lillian's voice trembled. 20 years ago, a nurse tried to expose them. The next day, she hanged herself. Her child vanished. Ka Rumu took her hands. But if we stay silent, the kids of Urala will always kneel to clean shoes. Mom, I won't live on my knees. Lillian studied him, really studied him, like she was seeing the baby left on the steps again. Then, slowly, she unclasped a copper chain from her neck. On it hung an ancient Maasai talisman, red with tribal symbols. Take it, she said. This was tucked in your blanket. The nun said it was your true roots. Ka Rumu held it. The metal was cold. On the back, tiny words, not Swahili, not English. Maasai. He didn't understand, but he memorized the shapes. Mom. He whispered, if I am your son, then I'll make sure they know. The child they threw away stood up. Outside, the moon rose over Urala's tin roofs. The wind whistled through the cracks, low and mournful, like an old tribal song. Dawn in Urala. The slum woke up like a pot of boiling porridge, noisy, messy, and steaming. The food kids chased plastic bottles through the mud, women scrubbed clothes at the communal water tap, and smoke from 1,000 tin roofs stained the sky yellow-gray. Ka Rumu sat on a low stool outside his shack, fiddling with an old laptop he'd dug out of the dump. The screen was cracked, 2 keys missing, and the battery lasted maybe 30 minutes. But to Ka Rumu, this was his window to the world. He hooked it up to his homemade Solar Ridger, a Frankenstein mix of calculator, RTS and old phone batteries. Sunlight hit the aluminum sheet, the voltage meter twitched. He held his breath, pressed power. I hum. The fan. Word. The screen flashed blue, then the familiar Swahili login screen app a red dot. It worked. This was his only internet time all week, 2 precious hours when the solar panel charged enough for him to piggyback off the community center's Wi-Fi. Mwasa Town's network was slow and expensive. The rich had fiber optics, Urala got whatever signal drifted their way. He opened the browser, typed, cheap DNA test Africa. 10 seconds of loading later, ads popped up. Nairobi Gene Lab, DAR biotesting prices ranged from 5 million to 20 million shillings. Ka Rumu exhaled. Road. That was 3 years of his and his mother's income if they sta reved. Still working on your great ancestry quest? He turned. Amina Kato stood in the doorway, holding a sack of cassava. 17, like him, skin like Dr. Teak, eyes bright as stars. Her father had been a Maasai elder until he protested Mwaninga mining bulldozing sacred graves. They jailed him for inciting violence. 2 years later, he came out broken. You wouldn't get it, Ka Rumu said, but he grinned up. I get that you're broke. Amina dropped the cassava, peered at the screen. DNA companies forget it. You need a person. Who? My cousin. Works at a med lab in Nairobi. Says they do free tests sometimes, for cops tracking missing kids. Ka Rumu's pulse jumped. Can he do it quietly? Depends on the favor. Amina smirked. You're buying me fried bananas. Ka Rumu laughed. That was Urala's currency. Favors mattered more than money. That afternoon, Ka Rumu skipped school. He went to the Mwaninga mining dump, a valley of shredded documents, dead computers, and medical waste. Gloves on, he sifted through the mess. 30 minutes in, he hit gold, a shredded St. Mary clinic file. He rifled through expired drug lists, staff schedules, a torn baby footprint card. His hands shook as he pocketed the fragments. Next stop, the abandoned watchtower. On the mine's edge. His and Amina's secret base. The walls were covered in their charcoal diagrams, Mwaninga family trees, mine pollution routes, lists of bribed cops. Look. Ka Rumu taped the footprint card together. A tiny inked foot, labeled K01, dated August 10, 1999. K. Amina whispered. Like your name. K. A. Romo pulled up his notes, August 12, 1999. Baby K sent to Nairobi Foundation. Same day, Lillian fired. 3 days later, Dr. Peter White dies in car crash. 20 years later, K. A. Romo shines a Russia's shoes. This isn't coincidence, K. A. Romo said. It's a plan. They used poor women to breed kids, covered it with lies, silenced people with death. Amina Sta read at the wall. You know, before they jailed my father, he got a letter. Had the same symbol as your talisman. K. A. Romo froze. The Masai Ma RK, yeah. It said, child is safe. Stop sea urching. Or the price gets higher. They locked eyes. A chill crawled up K. A. Romo's spine. They know about you, Amina said. They've always known. That night, the community center's Wi-Fi flickered on at 8 p.m., like clockwork. K. A. Romo and Amina huddled on a bench, laptop balanced on their knees. He called Amina's cousin. Free test possible, the voice crackled. But you need a sample. And no real names. Too risky. Sample, K. A. Romo asked. Like what? Saliva? Hair? A used cup? Anything with DNA? K. A. Romo's stomach dropped. How the hell was he supposed to get a Russia's saliva? Ask him to spit in a tube. Amina elbowed him. Wait, he drinks coffee every morning. From a gold cup. K. A. Romo's head snapped up. The coffee cup. Every dawn, a Russia's driver brought a fresh brew from Swahili Light, the fanciest cafe in town. A Russia took 2 sips, then tossed the cup to a maid. That cup was the key. Cousin, K. A. Romo whispered, if I get the cup, how fast can you run the test? A week. But if this blows back on me, it won't. They hung up. Silence. The plan was set, but it felt like walking a tightrope. You sure about this? Amina asked. K. A. Romo watched the moon through the window. If I'm a Mwaninga, then I'm not just K. A. Romo Mwaka. I'm proof, living evidence of what they tried to bury. Amina grinned. Then I'm in. Kids from Urala don't stay in the shadows. For 3 days, K. A. Romo ghosted around the Mwaninga mansion. He timed the Gua RDS, tracked the coffee delivery, studied the maid's routines. Here's what he read. 8:10 a.m. Driver arrives with coffee. 8:15 A Russia drinks it on the back steps. 8:20 He chucks the cup. 8:25 Maid cleans it. 5-minute window. He also noticed, a Russia was edgy. The news said his Mwaninga Youth Foundation was launching soon as some PR stunt about educating Africa's poor. K. A. Romo knew better. It was a money laundering front. He's SCA red, Amina said. SCA red, someone will expose him. So he's playing philanthropist. K. A. Romo smirked. Then let's ruin his act. Day 4. Go time. Before sunrise, K. A. Romo crouched in the bushes behind the mansion, dressed in black, gripping a Ziploc bag. His heart pounded like a drum. 8:10 The black SUV rolled up. The driver handed a coffee through the window. K. A. Romo held his breath. 8:15 A Russia stepped out, sipped his coffee, scanned some papers. 8:19 He drained the cup, tossed it onto the steps. Now. K. A. Romo lunged. Grabbed the cup. Sealed it in the bag. Still RM, lipstick red smudges on the rim. Hey! A Gua RD's shout. K. A. Romo ran at footsteps pounded behind him. He vaulted a wall, zigzagged through alleys, his lungs on fire. He didn't stop until he hit the watchtower. Got it. He gasped, holding up the cup. Amina laughed. You're insane. But you did it. K. A. Romo Sta read at the cup's rim, at the faint traces of a Russia's lips. This wasn't just a cup. It was blood. 20 years of silence. His mother's TRS. A stolen baby's cry. Mail it, he said. Let the truth come home. Outside, the first light of dawn hit the watchtower wall, glowing on the reassembled footprint. CA Road K01. Waiting, at last, to be claimed. Night in the wasteland. The valley was cold as iron. K. A. Romo curled under a boulder, his body feeling like it had been run over by a truck. Every breath sent knives through his ribs. The blood on his lips had dried into RK scabs. In his RMS, clutch like the last ember of a fire, the SDCARD. He didn't remember crawling back to Urala. At dawn, Amina found him half-conscious by the dump, slumped against a tin wall. She didn't ask questions. Just pressed herbs to his wounds, wrapped his ribs with an old sheet, then hid him in the abandoned church basement, their other secret hideout. Moose is dead, Amina whispered, eyes red. They called it a CAR accident, but his son said they beat him half to death first, left him on the road. K.A. Romo clenched his fists. Another life, gone for the truth. The SDCARD, he rasped. Amina nodded, unscrewing the hidden compartment in his talisman. Copied everything last night. Your mother, she's here. K.A. Rumu's eyes flew open. Mom, no, it's not safe. The basement door creaked open. Lillian stood there, a pot of herbal broth in her hands, Fia R and Lavoie ring on her face. My child, she rushed to him, sobbing as she held him. They said wild dogs attacked you, but I know it was them. K.A. Roma tried to speak, but pain stole his voice. Lillian wept as she changed his bandages, her rough hands gentle as feathers. Mom, he finally gasped, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have risked it. No. Lillian's voice turned fierce. I'm sorry. I stayed silent for 20 years, left you to fight them alone. From her pocket, she pulled a small copper box. Inside, another talisman, identical to K.A. Rumu's, but larger, with deeper Maasai engravings. What's the day you came? Lillian whispered, there were two. One for you. This one for your father. K.A. Rumu froze. Father who? I don't know his name. Lillian's gaze drifted. The nun said the nurse who brought you left this. Said if you lived to 18, to give it to you. That you were Maasai blood. The line must not break. K.A. Rumu Sta read at the talisman, then yanked open his laptop. In his Saint Mary experiment file, he'd saved a blurry security still August 12, 1999. A nurse CA rang a baby out the back door. Uncle A her face, but around her neck. The same talisman. It's her. K.A. Rumu's voice shook. The nurse who saved me. She was Maasai too. Lillian touched the talisman, TRS hitting the metal. Maasai believe these link to ancestor spirits. We are it, and your roots still hold. Suddenly, K.A. Rumu understood. He wasn't the Mwaninga's failed experiment. He was Maasai. A bloodline secretly preserved. Mom, he whispered. If the DNA says I'm a Russia's, am I still your son? Lillian cupped his face. Listen, K.A. Rumu Waka. Blood decides whose child you are. Not who you are. I raised you. Fed you with cassava and TRS. Your soul, your courage, your pride, that's from me. She leaned closer. So what if you're a Mwaninga? You kneel to shine shoes. He spat on you. But you stand tall. Hell, I've a lie. Which of you is truly noble? K.A. Rumu went still. He remembered the spit. A Russia's cold eyes. His fake smiles for cameras. And himself, beaten, thrown out, trampled. Yet never bowed. He smiled. Bloody, but bright. Mom, I get it now. I don't need their name. Waka means light, and I'll be the light Urala needs. Press conference day. Wasa town square, white tents, flower ga lands, red ca pet. News vans lined up, reporters clutching mics, waiting for philanthropist of the year. A Russian Mwaninga. K.A. Roma watched from the clock tower, bandaged, leaning on Amina. His laptop showed Nairobi Labs inbox. Still nothing. He asked. Amina shook her head. Cousin says results won't come till tonight. Too late. K.A. Rumu eyed the crowd. He's about to perform. His phone buzzed. Encrypted message. K.A. Rumu Musa. Not dead. Left for dead, but Ali found me. Your letter, I got it to Dr. J. He says results come tonight. Hold on. K.A. Rumu's eyes burned. Musa alive. The letter delivered. Amina, he said. Ho or sly, go live. Now you can be a rely stand. That's why I must. K.A. Rumu Sta read at the podium. They cover blood with pets, stench with flowers. But I'll show them Urala's wounds are their crimes. 4 p.m. Showtime. Russia took the stage, custom suit gleaming, smile saintly under spotlights. Ladies and gentlemen. RMS wide. The Mweninga Foundation launches today. 5 billion shillings to educate Africa's youth. Because poverty isn't fate, it's lack of opportunity. Applause. Rich folks. Toasted. Politicians grin. Then, the SQUA result display screen, usually showing ads, flickered and switched to Ka Rumu's face. He sat in the clock tower ruins, battered but straight-backed, holding the Maasai talisman. Behind him, Urala's tin roofs. People of Moasa, his voice boomed through Amina's hack speakers, this Charity is poison. Russia Mweninga isn't a philanthropist. He's a thief stealing land, lives, even a child's name. Gasps. Cameras swiveled. Russia's face twisted. Kill the feed. Now. Gua RDS sprinted. Tawa RD the screen, but the wires were cut. Amina smirked from the shadows. Try. Signals bouncing through 3 antennas. You can't kill truth. Ka Roma lifted the SDCA road on Ka Roma Mwaka. Urala's son. My mother scrubs his floors. I shined his shoes. Days ago, his men NEARLY beat me to death for wanting to know who I am. He raised the SDCA road proof. The baby swaps. The murders. The lies. And tonight DNA. Results proving Russia Mweninga used poor women's wombs to breed his perfect heir. Russia lunged at the podium. Lies. Arrest him. But the crowd erupted. Minors tore off RD hats. Slum mothers held up photos of their kids. Students chanted, "We want truth." Ka Roma locked eyes with Russia across the chaos. SCA read, "No foundation can wash blood off your hands." Real Charity isn't pity, it's giving people back their dignity. The feed cut. Amina yanked Ka Roma into a hidden tunnel. We did it, she panted. The whole city saw. Ka Roma gripped the SDCARD, STA ring Tawa RD Nairobi. No, he murmured. The storms just stay rooting. The clock tower basement. The air was thick and hot, like a steam bath. Ka Roma leaned against the wall, ribs throbbing with every breath, like a dull knife twisting inside him. The glow from the laptop screen lit his pale face, the email inbox open, the clock reading, 23:58. 2 more minutes, Amina muttered. Eyes glued to the screen, fingers tapping her knee. She just used 3 different burner phones to bounce the live stream signal, dodging security. Still catching her breath. Will he come through? Ka Roma whispered. He thought of Musa's message, results tonight, but it was almost midnight. No word from Nairobi. He will. Amina squeezed his hand. Musa risked his life for that letter. Dr. J won't let us down. Then ding, sha-rp chime, like a church bell in the silence. New email. From j.doctor@by-medlab.ac.tz. Subject, urgent, DNA analysis result, case #K01 Ka Romu's HRT stopped. His fingers shook as he clicked. The attachment was a PDF report. Bold letters at the top. Paternity test results. Test subject A, Russia Mweninga. Test subject B, Ka Roma Mwaka. Conclusion, biological father-son relationship confirmed. Probability of paternity, 99.98%. Below it, a genetic comparison, 2 colored bands. NEARLY identical, like parallel rivers finally meeting in Fate's Canyon. Ka Roma STA read. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. Holy shit, Amina breathed. It's real. You are his son. Not maybe. Not likely. Scientific fact. Ka Roma remembered his mother's words, they said the baby died but I heard crying. The footprint CARD, K01. The Maasai talisman's whisper, he is Maasai blood. The line must not break. All the pieces, snapping together. But that's impossible. Amina frowned. Russia's mixed, his dad was a white doctor, his mom Kenyan elite. You're full black, skin, features, all Maasai. How's the DNA matching? Ka Rumu's mind raced. He pulled up files from the SDCARD, scanning Dr. Peter White's old RCH notes, artificial insemination applications for African elite families, combining select donor sperm with local ova to produce high adaptability offspring. His eyes flew open. Not a Russia sperm. His father's. Amina gasped. You mean Peter White used himself as the donor? Yes. K.A. Rumu's voice was ice. A Russia's sterile. Old man White wanted his bloodline to continue. So he secretly used his own sperm on my mother. I'm his grandson. A Russia's son in name only. He spotted fine print at the bottom of the report. Additional notes, subject B, K.A. Rumu, exhibits mitochondrial DNA, maternal lineage, consistent with high-frequency Maasai genotypes, indicating biological mother of Maasai origin. Mitochondrial DNA. Amina read. That only comes from the mother. So your real mom was Maasai. K.A. Rumu's blood ran cold. Lillian wasn't his birth mother, then whose child was he? Was he swapped baby K? Suddenly, a video call request popped up. ID, J. Dr. K.A. Rumu took a deep breath. Accepted. A black man in glasses app a red, lab equipment behind him. K.A. Rumu, I'm Dr. J. About Musa, I'm sorry. He saved you. And the truth. Thank you, K.A. Rumu. Choked out. The results they real undeniable. Dr. J nodded. I ran 3 verifications. You and a Russia a father and son, but the donor was Peter White. Your Y chromosome comes from him. Your mitochondrial DNA, from a Maasai woman. He lowered his voice. I checked the baby K files. The Light of East Africa Foundation did receive a male infant, ID K01, but 3 months later, the foundation rebranded. Records were purged. Except I found this. He read his screen. A faded photo app a red, a mixed-race baby in an incubator, wristband labeled K01. That baby, Amina gasped. He looks white, blonde hair, light skin. Exactly. Dr. J nodded. This was their perfect Mweninga heir. You, K.A. Rumu, you were the reject. Maybe 2 to RK. Not ideal. So they hid you, let Lillian raise you. K.A. Rumu felt the ground drop away. A reject, unwanted. A Russia spitting on his shoes. The security chief SNA Ling, beat him dead but leave no. Ma RKS. His mother's despair when they threw her out of the hospital. Not a Basta road. A Disque wrote a leftover from the rich man's game. Dr. K.A. Rumu rasped, what happened to that baby? Druj shook his head. No trace. Foundation claims he was adopted overseas, but no paperwork. I think he died. Or never existed. They needed the ID of a perfect son. K.A. Rumu ended the call, slumping against the wall. The DNA report glowed on screen like a tombstone. Amina pulled him close. Listen. They can call you whatever they want. But your proof, living evidence they couldn't erase. K.A. Rumu looked at her, then out the window. Urala's night sky, stars blinking. Amina, he said softly, they think blood defines worth. But real lineage isn't genes. It's choice. His mother's 20 years of silent love. Musa risking his life. The Maasai talismans whisper. Peter White isn't my father. He stood, voice steady. My father is the boy who dug laptops from trash. Who shined shoes for his mom. Who got his ribs broken but never bowed. He opened a new document. Sta rude typing. I'm writing a letter. To Mwasa. To Africa. To every kid under someone's boot. To say, your birth doesn't decide your height. But your spine can hold up the sky. 3 a.m. Urala. The letter spread forums, WhatsApp groups, pirate radio. No name attached. Just the Maasai talisman's image in one line. The powerful define you by DNA. But real blood is dignity. And defiance. Miners passed it in shacks. Students read it in class. Mothers wept under kerosene lamps. And up in the mansion on the hill, a Russian Waninga stood at his window, watching Urala's flickering lights, his wineglass shattering on the floor. He knew the storm was here. The clock tower basement. The air was thick and hot, like a steam bath. K.A. Romo leaned against the wall, ribs throbbing with every breath, like a dull knife twisting. Inside him, the glow from the laptop screen lit his pale face, the email inbox open, the clock reading, 23:58. 2 more minutes, Amina muttered, eyes glued to the screen, fingers tapping her knee. She just used 3 different burner phones to bounce the live stream signal, dodging security. Still catching her breath. Will he come through? K.A. Romo whispered. He thought of Musa's message, results tonight, but it was almost midnight. No word from Nairobi. He will. Amina squeezed his hand. Musa risked his life for that letter. Dr. J won't let us down. Then ding, Isha RP chime, like a church bell in the silence. New email. From j.doctorate@medlab.ac.tz. Subject, urgent, DNA analysis result, case hashtag K01. K.A. Romo's CRT stopped. His fingers shook as he clicked. The attachment was a PDF report. Bold letters at the top. Paternity test results. Test subject A, Arusha Mwaninga. Test subject B, K.A. Romo Mwaka. Conclusion. Biological father-son relationship confirmed. Probability of paternity, 99.98%. Below it, a genetic comparison. 2 colored bands, NEARLY identical, like parallel rivers finally meeting in Fate's Canyon. K.A. Romo STA read. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. Holy shit, Amina breathed. It's real. You are his son. Not maybe. Not likely. Scientific fact. K.A. Romo remembered his mother's words. They said the baby died, but I heard crying. The footprint. CARD, K01. The Maasai talisman's whisper, he is Maasai blood. The line must not break. All the pieces, snapping together. But that's impossible. Amina frowned. Arusha's mixed. His dad was a white doctor, his mom Kenyan elite. You're full black, skin, features, all Maasai. How's the DNA matching? K.A. Romo's mind raced. He pulled up files from the SDCARD, scanning Dr. Peter White's old RCH notes, artificial insemination applications for African elite families, combining select donor sperm with local ova to produce high adaptability offspring. His eyes flew open. Not Arusha sperm. His father's. Amina gasped. You mean Peter White used himself as the donor? Yes. K.A. Romo's voice was ice. Arusha's sterile. Old man White wanted his bloodline to continue. So he secretly used his own sperm on my mother. I'm his grandson. Arusha's son in name only. He spotted fine print at the bottom of the report. Additional notes, subject B, K.A. Romo, exhibits mitochondrial DNA, maternal lineage, consistent with high-frequency Maasai genotypes, indicating biological mother of Maasai origin. Mitochondrial DNA. Amina read. That only comes from the mother. So your real mom was Maasai. K.A. Romo's blood ran cold. Lillian wasn't his birth mother. Then whose child was he? Was he swapped baby? K. Suddenly, a video call request popped up. ID, J. Dr. K.A. Romo took a deep breath. Accepted. A black man in glasses. App A read, lab equipment behind him. K.A. Romo, I'm Dr. J. About Musa, I'm sorry. He saved you. And the truth. Thank you, K.A. Romo choked out. The results they real undeniable. Dr. J nodded. I ran 3 verifications. You and Arusha are father and son, but the donor was Peter White. Your Y chromosome comes from him. Your mitochondrial DNA, from a Maasai woman. He lowered his voice. I checked the baby K files. The Light of East Africa Foundation did receive a male infant, ID K01, but 3 months later, the foundation rebranded. Records were purged. Except. I found this. Isha read his screen. A faded photo. App A read, a mixed-race baby in an incubator, wristband labeled K01. That baby. Amina gasped. He looks white, blonde hair, light skin. Exactly. Dr. J nodded. This was their perfect Mwaninga heir. You, K.A. Romo, you were the reject. Maybe too RK. Not ideal. So they hid you, let Lillian raise you. K.A. Romo felt The ground drop away. A reject unwanted a Russia spitting on his shoes. The security chief SNA ruling, beat him dead but leave no ma RKS. His mother's despair when they threw her out of the hospital. Not a Basta road. A disque wrote a leftover from the rich man's game. Dr. K.A. Rummel rasped, what happened to that baby? Drj shook his head. No trace. Foundation claims he was adopted overseas, but no paperwork. I think he died. Or never existed. They needed the ID of a perfect son. K.A. Rummel ended the call, slumping against the wall. The DNA report glowed on screen like a tombstone. Amina pulled him close. Listen. They can call you whatever they want. But your proof, living evidence they couldn't erase. K.A. Rummel looked at her, then out the window. Urala's night sky, stars blinking. Amina, he said softly, they think blood defines worth. But real lineage isn't genes. It's choice. His mother's 20 years of silent love. Musa risking his life. The Maasai talisman's whisper. Peter White isn't my father. He stood, voice steady. My father is the boy who dug laptops from trash. Who shined shoes for his mom. Who got his ribs broken but never bowed. He opened a new document. Sta rude typing. I'm writing a letter. To Mwasa. To Africa. To every kid under someone's boot. To say, your birth doesn't decide your height. But your spine can hold up the sky. 3 a.m. Urala. The letter spread forums, WhatsApp groups, pirate radio. No name attached. Just the Maasai talisman's image in one line. The powerful define you by DNA. But real blood is dignity. And defiance. Miners passed it in shacks. Students read it in class. Mothers wept under kerosene lamps. And up in the mansion on the hill, a Russian Waninga stood at his window, watching Urala's flickering lights, his wineglass shattering on the floor. He knew the storm was here. The clock tower basement. The air was thick and hot, like a steam bath. K.A. Rummel leaned against the wall, ribs throbbing with every breath, like a dull knife twisting inside him. The glow from the laptop screen lit his pale face, the email inbox open, the clock reading, 23:58. 2 more minutes, Amina muttered, eyes glued to the screen, fingers tapping her knee. She just used 3 different burner phones to bounce the live stream signal, dodging security. Still catching her breath. Will he come through? K.A. Rummel whispered. He thought of Musa's message, results tonight, but it was almost midnight. No word from Nairobi. He will. Amina squeezed his hand. Musa risked his life for that letter. Dr. J won't let us down. Then ding, Isha RP chime, like a church bell in the silence. New email. From j.doctorate by medlab.ac.tz subject, urgent, DNA analysis result, case hashtag K01 Ka Rummel CRT stopped. His fingers shook as he clicked. The attachment was a PDF. Report. Bold letters at the top. Paternity test results. Test subject A, a Russian Waninga. Test subject B, K.A. Rummel Waka. Conclusion, biological father-son relationship confirmed. Probability of paternity, 99.98% below it, a genetic comparison, 2 colored bands, NEARLY identical, like parallel rivers finally meeting in Fate's Canyon. K.A. Rummel Sta read. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. Holy shit, Amina breathed. It's real. You are his son. Not maybe. Not likely. Scientific fact. K.A. Rummel remembered his mother's words, they said the baby died. But he RD crying. The footprint CARD, K01. The Maasai talisman's whisper, he is Maasai blood. The line must not break. All the pieces, snapping together. But that's impossible. Amina frowned. A Russia's mixed, his dad was a white doctor, his mom Kenyan elite. You're full black, skin, features, all Maasai. How's the DNA matching? K.A. Rummel's mind raced. He pulled up files from the SDCARD, scanning Dr. Peter White's old RCH notes, artificial insemination applications for African elite families, combining select donor sperm with local ova to produce high adaptability offspring. His eyes flew open. Not a Russia sperm. His father's. Amina gasped. You mean Peter White used himself as the donor? Yes. K.A. Rumu's voice was ice. Russia's sterile. Old man White wanted his bloodline to continue. So he secretly used his own sperm on my mother. I'm his grandson. Russia's son in name only. He spotted fine print at the bottom of the report. Additional notes. Subject B, K.A. Rumu, exhibits mitochondrial DNA, maternal lineage, consistent with high-frequency Maasai genotypes, indicating biological mother of Maasai origin. Mitochondrial DNA. Amina read. That only comes from the mother. So your real mom was Maasai. K.A. Rumu's blood ran cold. Lillian wasn't this birth mother then. Whose child was he? Was he swapped baby K? Suddenly, a video call request popped up. ID, J. Dr. K.A. Rumu took a deep breath. Accepted. A black man in glasses app read, lab equipment behind him. K.A. Rumu, I'm Dr. J. About Musa, I'm sorry. He saved you. And the truth. Thank you, K.A. Rumu choked out. The results they real undeniable. Dr. J nodded. I ran 3 verifications. You and Russia father and son, but the donor was Peter White. Your Y chromosome comes from him. Your mitochondrial DNA, from a Maasai woman. He lowered his voice. I checked the baby K files. The Light of East Africa Foundation did receive a male infant, ID K01, but 3 months later, the foundation rebranded. Records were purged. Except I found this. He read his screen. A faded photo app read, a mixed-race baby in an incubator, wristband labeled K01. That baby. Amina gasped. He looks white, blonde hair, light skin. Exactly. Dr. J nodded. This was their perfect Mwaninga heir. You, K.A. Rumu, you were the reject. Maybe 2 RK. Not ideal. So they hid you, let Lillian raise you. K.A. Rumu felt the ground drop away. A reject. Unwanted. Russia spitting on his shoes. The security chief SNA ruling, beat him dead but leave no ma RKS. His mother's despair when they threw her out of the hospital. Not a Basta road. A disque road, a leftover from the rich man's game. Dr. K.A. Rumu rasped, what happened to that baby? Drj shook his head. No trace. Foundation claims he was adopted overseas, but no paperwork. I think he died. Or never existed. They needed the ID of a perfect son. K.A. Rumu ended the call, slumping against the wall. The DNA report glowed on screen like a tombstone. Amina pulled him close. Listen. They can call you whatever they want. But your proof, living evidence they couldn't erase. K.A. Rumu looked at her, then out the window. Urala's night sky, stars blinking. Amina. He said softly, they think blood defines worth. But real lineage isn't genes. It's choice. His mother's 20 years of silent love. Musa risking his life. The Maasai talisman's whisper. Peter White isn't my father. He stood, voice steady. My father is the boy who dug laptops from trash. Who shined shoes for his mom. Who got his ribs broken but never bowed. He opened a new document. Sta rude typing. I'm writing a letter. To Mwasa. To Africa. To every kid under someone's boot. To say, your birth doesn't decide your height. But your spine can hold up the sky. 3 a.m. Urala. The letter spread forums, WhatsApp groups, pirate radio. No name attached. Just the Maasai talisman's image in one line, the powerful define you by DNA. But real blood is dignity. And defiance. Miners passed it in shacks. Students read it in class. Mothers wept under kerosene lamps. And up in the mansion on the hill, a Russian Waninga stood at his window, watching Urala's flickering lights, his wineglass shattering on the floor. He knew the storm was here. The clock tower basement, the air was thick and hot, like a steam bath. K.A. Rumu leaned against the wall, ribs throbbing with every breath, like a dull knife twisting inside him. The glow from the laptop screen lit his pale face, the email inbox open, the clock reading, 23:58. 2 more minutes, Amina muttered, eyes glued to the screen, fingers tapping her knee. She just used 3 different burner phones to bounce the live stream signal, dodging security. Still catching her breath. Will he come through? K.A. Romo whispered. He thought of Musa's message, results tonight, but it was almost midnight. No word from Nairobi. He will. Amina squeezed his hand. Musa risked his life for that letter. Dr. J won't let us down. Then ding, Isha RP chime, like a church bell in the silence. New email. From j.doctor@biomedlab. ACTZ subject, urgent, DNA analysis result, case hashtag K01 Ka Romu's ERT stopped. His fingers shook as he clicked. The attachment was a PDF report. Bold letters at the top: paternity test results. Test subject A, Arusha Mwaninga. Test subject B, Ka Romamwaka. Conclusion, biological father-son relationship confirmed. Probability of paternity, 99.98%. Below it, a genetic comparison, 2 colored bands, NEARLY identical, like parallel rivers finally meeting in Fate's Canyon. Ka Romo Sta read. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. Holy shit, Amina breathed. It's real. You are his son. Not maybe. Not likely. Scientific fact. Ka Romo remembered his mother's words. They said the baby died, but I heard crying. The footprints. CARD, K01. The Maasai talisman's whisper, he is Maasai blood. The line must not break. All the pieces, snapping together. But that's impossible. Amina frowned. Arusha's mixed. His dad was a white doctor, his mom Kenyan elite. You're full black, skin, features, all Maasai. How's the DNA matching? Ka Romu's mind raced. He pulled up files from the SDCARD, scanning Dr. Peter White's old RCH notes, artificial insemination applications for African elite families, combining select donor sperm with local ova to produce high adaptability offspring. His eyes flew open. Not Arusha sperm. His father's. Amina gasped. You mean Peter White used himself as the donor? Yes. Ka Romu's voice was ice. Arusha's sterile. Old man White wanted his bloodline to continue. So he secretly used his own sperm on my mother. I'm his grandson. Arusha's son in name only. He spotted fine print at the bottom of the report. Additional notes, subject B, Ka Romu, exhibits mitochondrial DNA, maternal lineage, consistent with high-frequency Maasai genotypes, indicating biological mother of Maasai origin. Mitochondrial DNA. Amina read. That only comes from the mother. So your real mom was Maasai. Ka Romu's blood ran cold. Lillian wasn't his birth mother, then whose child was he? Was he swapped baby K? Suddenly, a video call request popped up. ID, J. Dr. Ka Romo took a deep breath. Accepted. A black man in glasses app read, lab equipment behind him. Ka Romo, I'm Dr. J. About Musa, I'm sorry. He saved you. And the truth. Thank you, Ka Romo choked out. The results they real, undeniable. Dr. J nodded. I ran 3 verifications. You and Arusha are father and son, but the donor was Peter White. Your Y chromosome comes from him. Your mitochondrial DNA, from a Maasai woman. He lowered his voice. I checked the baby K files. The Light of East Africa Foundation did receive a male infant, ID K01, but 3 months later, the foundation rebranded. Records were purged. Except I found this. He read his screen. A faded photo app read, a mixed-race baby. In an incubator, wristband labeled K01. That baby, Amina gasped. He looks white, blonde hair, light skin. Exactly. Dr. J nodded. This was their perfect Mwaninga heir. You, Ka Romu, you were the reject. Maybe too RK. Not ideal. So they hid you, let Lillian raise you. Ka Romu felt the ground drop away. A reject, unwanted Arusha spitting on his shoes. The security chief SNA ruling, beat him dead but leave no ma RKS. His mother's despair when they threw her out of the hospital. Not a Basta road. A disque wrote a leftover from the rich man's game. Doctor, Ka Romu rasped, what happened to that baby? Drj shook his head. No trace. Foundation claims he was adopted overseas, but no paperwork. I think he died. Or never existed. They needed the ID of a perfect son. Ka Romu ended the call, slumping against the wall. The DNA report glowed on screen like a tombstone. Amina pulled him close. Listen. They can call you whatever they want. But your proof, living evidence they couldn't erase. Ka Romu looked at her, then out the window. Urala's night sky, stars blinking. Amina, he said softly, they think blood defines worth. But real lineage isn't genes. It's choice. His mother's 20 years of silent love. Musa risking his life. The Masai talisman's whisper. Peter White isn't my father. He stood, voice steady. My father is the boy who dug laptops from trash. Who shined shoes for his mom. Who got his ribs broken but never bowed. He opened a new document. Sta rude typing. I'm writing a letter. To Mwasa. To Africa. To every kid under someone's boot. To say, your birth doesn't decide your height. But your spine can hold up the sky. 3 a.m. Urala. The letter spread forums, WhatsApp groups, pirate radio. No name attached. Just the Masai talisman's image in one line. The powerful define you by DNA. But real blood is dignity. And defiance. Minors. Passed it in shacks. Students read it in class. Mothers wept under kerosene lamps. And up in the mansion on the hill, a Russian Waninga stood at his window, watching Urala's flickering lights, his wineglass shattering on the floor. He knew the storm was here. Dawn in Urala. The slum woke quietly. A thin mist hung over the tin roofs and muddy alleys like grey gauze. Ka Romu lay curled on an old mattress in the clock tower basement, eyes burning from sleeplessness. The laptop screen still glowed, displaying the open letter he'd written all night, titled To Mwasa, Confessions of a Reject. Amina slipped in with a bowl of hot cassava porridge. Eat, she murmured. Your eyes a bloodshot. Ka Romu took the bowl but didn't touch it. His mind was still trapped in the letter, every word dug from an open wound. He'd written about his mother's silence, his bruises, the DNA conspiracy, the vanished mixed-race baby. He hadn't called himself a Russia's son outright, only said, they used poor women's bodies to manufacture perfection, while we weren't even allowed to know who we are. Did you send it? He asked. Amina nodded. Through anonymous nodes. 20 youth forums nationwide. Nairobi students already showering it. Africa Truth Radio reached out. Ka Romu's phone buzzed before he could reply. An encrypted message. Ka Romu. It's Maid. Meet me at the old church on Urala's edge before RK, bring your talisman. Someone who knew your mother. His pulse spiked. Maid, who's that? Amina paled. Sister Maid, the head nurse at St. Rishi, they said she went mad. Mad 20 years ago, she accused the hospital of baby trafficking. Next day, they locked her in a psych ward. 10 years later, she came out babbling about K01 and the blue blanket. People avoid her. Ka Romu stood too fast, pain lancing his ribs. She knows about the blanket, she sung. It's too dangerous. Amina grabbed his arm. She could be watched. This could be a trap. She's the last living witness. Ka Romu fastened the talisman around his neck. If I don't go, the truth rots in that asylum. Evening. The abandoned church. The setting sun stretched Ka Romu's shadow long behind him as he walked. The church was a skeleton, half a wall, a rusted cross. Wind moaned through broken windows. A hunched figure emerged from the shadows. An old woman. Wild white hair. Wrinkles deep as scars. But her eyes burned clear and bright. She wore a faded nurse's uniform, a tarnished St. Mary's badge pinned crookedly over her heart. Ka Romu Mwaka, her voice was sandpaper rough. Your sister Maid. She didn't answer. Just Sta read at his talisman, then began to tremble. The blue blanket. We are it. You're alive. She lunged, skeletal fingers clamping his wrist. They said you died. Said your heart was deformed. But I hear Raya cry, so loud, like a lion cub. Ka Romu's breath caught. You remember me like it was yesterday. Her gaze sharpened. August 10, 1999. 3 a.m. Lillian gave birth. A boy. Healthy. Skin de arche as African soil. But Dr. White said not ideal. Mayor ked you for disposal. I begged him, send the child away, don't kill him. He agreed. From her robes, she pulled a crumbling notebook labeled Project K Records. I kept my own files. She flipped to a page scrawled with frantic notes, *8/10, Subject A, Lillian, delivered male infant. DARK pigmentation. Deemed non-ideal. August 11, decision, Disc A Road. Nurse M, me, proposed anonymous relocation. Approved. August 12, infant K01, Mweninga registry name, sent to Nairobi Foundation actually mixed race, subject C. Father, Peter White. Mother, unknown Caucasian. True infant, de skinned, given to nuns. Condition, never seek origins. Or face termination, *Ka Rumu's hands shook. True infant, de skinned, that. Was him. Sister, he whispered, why risk helping me because I must I too. She touched the talisman. And my sister was your birth mother. The words hit like a cattle prod. What, her name was Naya. TRS cut tracks through the dirt on Mayrtha's face. She was another test subject. White used her eggs, Caucasian sperm plus Maasai ova equals ideal hybrid. She escaped when pregnant. Had the baby in hiding. They hunted her down. The child died. Then she didn't finish. Ka Rumu understood. His mother had died resisting the experiment. And he, the reject son, was what remained of her defiance. Her last words, if my child lives, tell him he's not flawed. He's proof we're free. Mayrtha hugged Ka Rumu, her bone Shah RP against his ribs. 20 ya rs I waited for you. Night. The clock tower. Amina read the diary in silence. When she finally spoke, her voice was steel. They weren't just stealing babies. They were breeding them. White genes ideal. Black genes disposable. This isn't greed. It's eugenics. Ka Rumu thought of Russia's spit on his shoes, his smirking speeches about investing in African youth. All along, his ideal African was light-skinned, mixed, controlled boys like Ka Rumu only fit to kneel. Sister Mayrtha said after White died, Russia took over Project K. Ka Rumu turned the diary's last page. He funds overseas foundations with mining profits. Buys heirs with washed identities. And Urala's children just lab rats to him. Amina suddenly stiffened. Wait, the Mweninga Foundation's study abroad program. They published the list. Ka Rumu pulled it up. 20 names. All mixed race or light-skinned. All from elite Nairobi academies. Not one from Urala. Look. Amina pointed. One name, K. Mwenga. Sponsor, a Russia Mweninga. Another K. Ka Rumu's laugh was bitter. They're making a new baby K, their perfect heir. No. Amina's eyes flashed. This time, it's public. They need an African face for PR, but it has to be tame so they pick mixed kids. Obedient ones. Ka Rumu sta read at the name. Then smiled a slow, dangerous thing. Good. If they want a show. Let's make them perform naked before the world. 3 days later. Mwasa Town Hall. The Mweninga Foundation's Study Abroad Initiative signing ceremony was in full swing. Arusha, crisp in a tailored suit, shook hands with politicians, flashed smiles for cameras. A screen cycled through photos of the 20 lucky Shole RS, all grinning. Then every screen flickered. The video that replaced them showed Sister Mayrtha in the ruined church, clutching her diary, speaking in Swahili, English, and Maasai. Between her words flashed images, K.A. Romu's bruises, Lillian's TRS, the baby footprint CARD, the DNA report. The finale, K.A. Romu standing on Urala's highest roof, the slum sprawled behind him, raising his talisman to the sky. I am K.A. Romu Mwaka. The K, Mwenga on your list isn't Mweninga's son. The real heir is the boy he spat on. The one whose ribs he broke. The one he called reject. His voice rang clear. You chose him because he looks white, you threw me away because I was too black, but I ask, who decided what's perfect, who gave you the right to judge which children deserve to live? The last frame, Emirvaz dia re-entry magnified, true infant, de arcaskind, given to nuns. He is proof we're free. The feed cut. Silence. A Russia's face drained of color. He bolted for the control room, but phones were already exploding. Hashtag cancel Project K trended nationwide. Africa Truth Radio Bly read the story coast to coast. And in Urala people stepped out of their tin shacks. Looked up at the sky. The wind ca right an old Masai song from the hills. A song for the free. The air in Mwasa was on fire. K.A. Romu's video exploded across African social media. 12 hours. 1 million views. Hashtags like hashtag cancel Project K, hashtag K.A. Romu is not a failure, hashtag Mweningdalis dominated trends. Nairobi University students urged with science, education, not experiments. Tanzania's Human Rights Commission launched an urgent investigation. Even AU media Waraned, African eugenics, the ghost of colonialism returns. And at the center of the storm, a Russia Mweninga. The signing ceremony was cancelled. He locked himself in his mansion study, curtains drawn, news channels looping that damn video. K.A. Romu, bruised but unbroken. Sister Emirvaz dia pages flipping like knives, slicing open 20 years of lies. Useless. He smashed a crystal glass. Lunatics. Lia RS. Who gave them the right to speak? His secretary trembled. Sir, the police chief says if we recover the original evidence Emirvaz dia the DNA report, maybe we can still, maybe nothing. A Russia ROA read. We can't get them back. That boy's hiding in Urala. Like a rat. Send security. TR the slum APART. Then, his phone rang. Nairobi lawyers. Mr. Mweninga, the AU Human Rights Unit is sending investigators. They arrive in Mwasa in 48 hours. They're demanding your cooperation on Project K. Also, the International Gene Ethics BOA Road has requested CLA-rification on transracial artificial insemination experiments. A Russia collapsed into his leather couch, shirt soaked with sweat. The game had changed. Money and power, for the first time, couldn't stop the truth. Urala. The abandoned clock tower. K.A. Romu and Amina monitored 3 phones, tracking the wildfire online. Sister Emirvaz was safe in a hideout with Lillian. Her mind flickered in and out, but the talisman always brought her back. Their SCA read, Amina said, grinning at the news. The police chief just read neutrality, no more taking orders from the Mweningas. K.A. Romu shook his head. Not enough. They'll investigate. They won't punish. I want a confession. Public. How K.A. Romu looked out the window. Tomorrow, Russia would hold an emergency press conference, calling the video defamatory fiction, threatening lawsuits. Global live stream. That's when, K.A. Romu murmured. I'll make the world watch him break. Press conference day. 10 a.m. Mweninga Foundation HQ. A stage. A sea of cameras. A Russia stood in a DRK suit, hair perfect, faced the picture of wounded dignity. Ladies, gentlemen, he began, voice heavy with sorrow, I stand here broken. A fabricated video has maliciously accused my family of human experimentation. I declare today, this is a lie. Gasps from reporters. The so-called Sister Emirvaz is a diagnosed schizophrenic. Her diary is delusion. And K.A. Romu Mwaka, his voice sharpened. A spoiled slum boy, jealous of my family's success, spinning tales for sympathy. He flashed a fake psychiatric report, played edited CCTV of K.A. Romu stealing from the mansion. My legal team will sue for defamation. 10 billion shillings in damages. Meanwhile, the Mweninga Foundation remains committed to African youth. Then BZZZT, the power cut. Screens flickered. Then a live feed erupted. Ka Romumwaka. Standing on Urala's highest roof. White shirt. Maasai talisman gleaming. Behind him, hundreds of Urala's people. Miners. Maids. Students. A silent black ocean. A Russia Mweninga, Ka Rumu's voice boomed through hack speakers. You call me a thief? Alia R. Then answer this. He held up a photo, August 12, 1999. Baby K's footprint. Ca Road. Whose foot is this? A Russia's face twitched. Ka Rumu raised another document, Nairobi Medlab DNA report. Father-son match, 99.98%. Deny it to our faces. Cameras flashed like lightning. You say Sister Emeirla's insane. The screen cut to Emeirla, diary in hand, reading in Clea or Swahili, August 12. True infant, RK skinned, given. To nuns he is proof we're free. Her voice old but unshaken rolled like tribal drums. A Russia leapt up. Shut it down. Now. Security scrambled, but the signal hopped between 5 devices. Amina, smirking from a rooftop half a mile away, controlled the switch. Ka Romo continued, you say I'm jealous because I shined your shoes. Took your insults. No. I stand here because you didn't just steal a child, you stole Urala's dignity. Behind him, the crowd raised their hands, each palm painted with a red clay K. Like blood. You called black skin defective. Then look. Ka Romo swept an arm Tawa RD the sea of faces. These hands. These faces. These people who sweat in your mines, scrub your floors, fight to survive. Are they defective? You launder money as charity. You dress exploitation as education. But where are Africa's real youth on your study abroad list or in Urala's mud? Esta read into the camera. A Russia Mweninga. I didn't come for your forgiveness. I came to tell you, the boy you spat on is standing on a roof today. And you're kneeling in your lies. Silence. Reporters forgot to snap photos. Politicians forgot to blink. A Russia stood frozen, a statue with its soul ripped out. He tried to speak. His lips moved. No sound came. Then, he grabbed the mic, screamed at the sky, what a reyo. A basta RD. A failure. You'll never wash off the dirt you were born in. The same venom as the spit on Ka Romu's shoes. But Ka Romu smiled. He lifted the talisman, let sunlight burnish its copper face. You're right, he said softly. I can't wash off the dirt. Because dirt is Africa's roots. And I'm the tree that grew from them. The feed faded. The last image, Urala's people, there came arcade hands raised like a blood-red forest, stabbing the sky. On stage, the wind caught a Russia's speech notes, scattering them like white butterflies, all flying Tawa RD. Urala. Night in Moasa. The city had never been so quiet. The SQUA outside the Mweninga Foundation building was empty, just scraps of a Russia's speech fluttering against the walls like faded obituaries. A Russia hadn't gone home. He'd locked himself in the Foundation's archives, replaying Ka Romu's livestream on loop. Defective. His fingers traced Ka Romu's face on the screen. How to re you stand up. He remembered his father's dying words 20 years ago, a Russia, you're weak. Your blood is tainted. Your body is broken. But Project K will carry our legacy. Remember, perfection isn't born. It's made. He looked at his own hands, twisted by infertility, a shame no money could erase. He didn't hate Ka Romu for being a Basta Road. He hated him because this failure stood taller as a monthon he ever had. Alarm. Agua RD burst in. Movement from Urala, hundreds of them. The security feed showed them, shadows with torches. Pouring out of Urala's alleys, snaking up the hill. Tawa RD the mansion. Ka Romu and Amina led the Ma RCH. Behind them, Lillian. Sister Emeirva. A Russia grabbed the phone. Call the police. Shoot them. Stop them. The MARCH. The procession moved like a black river under the moonlight. No guns. Just torches, hose, shovels, and the K painted on every chest. Wasai elders chanted an old war song, Samburunjisho, and Kyogen. We are lions, unafraid of the DRK. Ka Romo walked at the front, talisman glinting in the firelight. This wasn't revenge. It was reckoning. We're not storming the mansion, he told the crowd. We'll hold a Ba Raza at the foot of the hill, let the ancestors judge the lies. They stopped at the estate's gates, forming a vast circle. Torches planted in the dirt like stars, elders lit sacred herbs, smoke curling tawa rd the sky. Ka Roma climbed onto a rock. His voice ca right across the valley, a Russian Waninga. Come. Down. Face the Ba Raza. By Masai law, lies must be answered. Theft must be repaid. Dignity must be restored. Gunshots cracked above, Gua RDS firing Wa running rounds. No one flinched. The firelight burned in their eyes. 3 a.m. The AUA arrives. 3 black SUVs rolled into Mwasa. Leading them Ama Kao, a Ghanaian investigator. She found Ka Romo at the camp and bowed deeply. Your broadcast shook Africa, she said. The AU has frozen all Mwaninga assets. Interpol is hunting the Future Light Foundation. But we need your evidence. The DRE. The DNA report. Ka Romo handed them over. One condition, the trial happens here. In Mwasa. Where the world can see. Ama hesitated, then nodded. Tomorrow. City Hall. 10 a.m. Live streamed. Then engines ROA read. Police trucks and armored vehicles screeched down the hill, surrounding the camp. The police chief stood on a roof, megaphone in hand. Ka Romumwaka. You're under arrest for incitement, unlawful assembly, trespassing. The crowd erupted. Amina screamed, we're holding torches. Where's the crime? Ama stepped forward RD, flashing her AU badge. Chief, these people are protected witnesses. Stand down. The chief faltered. Then a figure emerged from behind the cops. A Russian Mwaninga. His suit was rumpled, eyes hollow. A ghost in a designer shirt. He staggered. Tawa RD Ka Romu, voice raw, you won right, the truth. The fame. The money. Now let me go. Ka Romu shook his head. What I want, you can't give. I want you to kneel. What? At the sacred fire, Ka Romu pointed to the circle. Kneel to the people you crushed. To Lillian. To Sister Mairva. To the baby you called defective. Silence. The torchlight flickered on a Russia's twisted face. Never, he spat. I'm a Mwaninga. I'm your nothing. Ka Romu cut him off. Nobility isn't blood. It's conscience. Do you have any? Russia's mouth opened? No words came. Then, he laughed. A broken, hollow sound. Fine. I'll kneel. But remember, without me, Urala wouldn't even have shoes to shine. He dropped to his knees before the fire, forehead pressed to the dirt. No cheers. Just silence. Then Lillian stepped four-way road. The woman who'd scrubbed his floors for 20 years. She reached down, helped him up. Stand, she said softly. You're not kneeling to me. You're kneeling to your own emptiness. Arusha looked up at her, this woman he'd paid to crawl, and shattered. Why, he sobbed, why can all of you stand? And I've lived like a ghost. Lillian touched his cheek. Because you never chose to be human. You only ever played Mwaninga. Next day. City Hall. The AU Tribunal convened. Global live feed. Ka Romu, Mairva, Lillian testified. DNA reports. Rise. Video proof. Russia sat in the defendant's chair, offering no defense. He confessed to it all. Project K. The swapped babies. Moose's beating. Every crime. Lay Ba but ask me, he said at the end, if I'd choose differently, and I wouldn't. In this world, the weak don't even deserve to be test subjects. At least I survived. Ka Rumu stood. Walked to him. Unclasped the talisman from his neck. Set it on the table. This belongs to the Maasai, he said. To freedom. To everyone who's been trampled into dirt and still grew flowers. A Russia sta read at it. Reached out, then stopped. In the end, he took nothing. 3 years later, Mwasa rainy season. The rains came soft this year. Water washed the red dust from the streets, painting the hills green. The tin shacks of Urala were gone, replaced by rows of sturdy brick homes. Sola are panels on the roofs, cassava and banana trees by the doors. At the slum's entrance, a wooden sign stood in 3 languages. Urala Youth Academy, Tulimwanga, let us shine. Inside the packed hall, students, parents, and journalists waited. Ka Rumumwaka stood. At the podium, we ring a simple white shirt, the Maasai talisman around his neck. In the front row Lillian, her hair gray but her back straight. Beside her, Sister Emeurtha, quietly smiling, fingers tracing the diary that had saved them all. At the back, Amina cradled their 3-month-old son, his tiny wrist tied with a red thread, Urala's tradition, meaning roots in the soil. Ka Rumu gripped the mic, scanning the young faces before him. Former child minors. School dropouts. Kids once called not good enough. Now, in crisp blue and white uniforms, their eyes shone. 3 years ago, he began, voice steady, I knelt on the Mwaninga's steps, polishing shoes for a man who spat on me. Back then, I thought my life was like those shoes, only as clean as someone else decided. Silence. But today, he pointed to the new classrooms, library, labs outside. We built this. A place that doesn't teach kneeling. It teaches standing tall. How knowledge breaks chains. He spoke of a Russia's trial, the seized Mwaninga wealth funding victim reparations, the 10-year prison sentence, cut short when a Russia died in custody, never mentioning bloodline again. He died confused, Ka Rumu said. Real lineage isn't DNA. It's choosing to be human. Afternoon. The truth. Ga Reden. Behind the academy, where the Mwaningas once hunted, now lay a memorial. Ga Reden. At its center a black stone slab, engraved, for all forgotten K01s. They were not numbers. They were lives. Not defects. Seeds of freedom. Beside it, a young baobab, Africa's tree of life. Ka Rumu knelt, pressing soil around its roots. Father, he whispered, to Peter White, to fate itself, you called perfection a science. But life refuses to obey. I'm RK. I'm poor. I've had ribs broken yet I outgrew you. He remembered a Russia's last words, if I live again, I'd still choose power. The weak don't even deserve to be test subjects. You were wrong, Ka Rumu told the wind. The weak's greatest right is living and remembering. The spit. The TRS. The ones who try to erase you, then thriving where they can't see. Graduation's end. Back in the hall, Ka Rumu announced the Roots Initiative, using Mwaninga restitution funds to build 100 slum schools across Africa. Not Charity. Our mayor. Ugandan girl stood, TRS in her eyes. Sir, nobles at home say my genes are inferior. Your story made me apply to university. Ka Rumu stepped down, taking her hands. Asterisk go. They define perfect. Never let them define you. Epilogue, Dawn and Mwasa sunrise over Urala Youth Academy. A handmade flag rose, no crests, no coats of IRMS. Just Swahili words, MTU and Iwatu. A person is people. Ka Rumu stood below, his son in his ARMS. The baby giggled, grabbing at the talisman. Papa, Amina murmured, will you tell him the truth about the Mwaninga's project? Ka Rumu smiled at his son's bright eyes. Yes. But first, I'll say, your name is Mwaka. It means light. And no one gets to dim you. Wind fluttered the flag. Down the road, a new school bus rolled Tawa RD the mountains, its side painted, the next genius is waiting in Urala.